Welcome back to the channel. Let's continue with what we are building here. So far we've been able to create our piano. Let's continue working on it as we learn responsive web design. So let's start with step 21. The piano needs the FreeCodeCamp logo to make it official. Of course, here we have the FreeCodeCamp logo. Add an img element before your keys element, and then give the img a class of logo. So this is our keys. So before it, like so, we're going to add an img element, and we'll say source. And I'm just going to copy this, okay, and paste it here. Also, don't forget to give it a class of logo, and let's give it an alt attribute, which will tell screen readers, gives screen readers some information. Let's call it FreeCodeCamp logo. All right, let's continue. Okay, give it an alt text of FreeCodeCamp logo. All right, now as we can see, the logo is annoyingly large, so let's do something to it. So let's select it, dot logo, because we gave it a class of logo. Let's give it a width of 200 pixels. Okay, let us also set the position to absolute. Let's give it a top value of 23 pixels as well. All right, so where is it? Our logo is missing now because it is somewhere here, but we'll deal with it. All right, so the img element needs its parent to have a position set as a point of reference. So set the position of the piano selector to relative. Okay, so let's set the position of piano, which is the parent, to relative. All right, now we have our logo showing up again. Okay, next up, to smooth the sharp edges of the piano and keys, start by giving the piano a border radius of 10 pixels. Okay, so when we look at the final piano, you see you have this smooth curves around the edges. So to do that, we use the border radius. Let's say border radius of 10 pixels. Okay, that works. Next up, what we are going to do is we want to give the key selector a border radius value. So let's say border radius, and let's give it a value of 003 pixels and then 3 pixels. All right, so that means the top left is going to be 0, the top right is going to be 0, the bottom left and right is also going to be 3 pixels each. Okay, so now we are on step 26, and what we want to do is we want to give the black keys a border radius too. So just like we did for the previous one, we'll say border radius, and we will say 003 pixels, 3 pixels. Okay, so now let's look at the responsive design. So what we are going to use for it is the @media rule. Okay, and this is also known as media queries. So media queries is what helps us to get this thing we have here, that the what we are displaying changes based on the screen size. Okay, so that's what we call media queries. So so it is used to conditionally apply CSS. Media queries are commonly used to apply CSS based on a viewport width, using a max width and min width properties. Okay, so in the below example, the padding is applied to the card class when the viewport is 960 wide and below. Okay, so here's how it works. First, you write media at media like this. You bring a bracket, okay, then you write max width or min width. So if you write it max width, then it means whatever you write here, the styles will be applied to any screen size that is below this. Okay, but if you use min width, then it means the size will be applied to any screen size that is above it. Okay, so for this case, any screen size that will be below 960 pixels, the card class will have a padding of 2 rem. Okay, all right, so let's do this example. So add a media query that will be applied when the viewport is 768 pixels. Okay, so we'll say at media, let's bring our bracket and we'll say max width and we'll say 768 pixels. Okay, then we'll bring our curly braces. All right, so now whatever style that we add here will be applied when our screen size or our viewport is less than 768. Let me give you an example. So let me say body. Okay, let me say background color. Let me just say yellow. Okay, so as you can see, the yellow is not being applied. Okay. Oh no, let me take this dots from it, just body. Now as you can see, the yellow is being applied, but let me increase the screen size. You see, when I increase the screen size, the yellow is taken away. That's how the media queries work. So anytime I scroll or shrink the size, when we get to 768, yellow will come. Okay, yellow will come. Okay, so media queries is conditional. So if our screen size is 768 or below, give our body a background color of yellow. Otherwise, don't apply any of these styles. Okay, so if it's more than 768, as you can see, the yellow is taken away. All right, so that's how the media queries work. So let me just clean this up and let's continue. Okay, so now we want to add a new piano selector within the media queries and set the width to 358. Okay, so we'll say hash piano and we'll set the width to 358. Okay, so as you can see, let me show you something. We already have this piano selector here. Okay, and inside this piano selector we have a width. This width is 992. Okay, so that is the default width. So as you can see, this is 992. But what we are saying with this media query is that we are saying if the width is 768 or below or less than 768, then don't use this width that we have here for piano. use this instead. Okay, so in this case, use 358 instead. So that's why when we shrink the size of the screen, we get to 768 screen size, you see that the width is shrinked. Okay, all right, so now let's continue. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is within the media query, we also want to add a .key selector and set the width also to this right here. So we'll say .keys. Okay, so note that all the media queries, all the styles that we are adding for the media queries are within this curly braces. Okay, all right, so we'll say .keys, we'll give it width, and we'll say 318 pixels. Okay, so as you can see, the width is changed to 318, so the rest of the keys now comes below it. Okay, now note when we get to a screen size of 768, this happens. All right, okay, now add a logo selector to the media queries and set the width property to 150 pixels. Okay, so let's do this. So when the piano shrinks like this, we want the logo also to shrink as well. So we'll say 150 pixels, like so. All right, so now if it is a large screen, we have a large logo. If it is small screen, we have a small logo. All right, so we'll continue working on these ones in the next video. This is where we'll end it in this video. So next video will be the last in this playlist. All right, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.